The dancer with the least amount of votes is Ms. Moth.
Elizabeth Smart.
I'm really hoping it's you, Jewel.
It's Megan Kelly.
Carly Kloss.
Kathy Griffin.
Take it off. Take it off.
The Moth was revealed on The Masked Dancer, and it was one of the most emotional moments in the Masked series history. But in this week's episode, me and Kyle discuss our favorite performances, the three of Group B heading into the Super Six, and of course, Kyle exposes yet another fan favorite. And yes, you guys, it's Exotic Bird, so stay tuned. Hi, I'm Mel.
And I'm Kyle.
And welcome to the Talent Recap Show. All right, you guys, you know what it was. Another great week of The Masked Dancer. Almost said singer, but I caught myself. Kyle, I love the performances this week. And we, of course, had an elimination. I'll let you take it from here. Who was eliminated, Kyle?
The celebrity that was eliminated tonight was the Moth, and she was revealed to be Elizabeth Smart.
Oh my God.
Yeah, that was pretty crazy. I think, they threw off so many people with the clues last week being all about, a presidential scandal. And so everyone kind of diverted their attention there. And then in this clue package, I think they made it a little more obvious that it wasn't necessarily someone who was involved in a scandal with the president, but just, made headlines with the president after a scandal.
I mean, this was definitely so surprising. If you guys aren't familiar, Elizabeth Smart is an activist, a journalist. She's a best-selling author. The thing is, though, when she was younger, she was in an unfortunate incident where she was kidnapped, and it was a whole crazy scenario. Luckily, she is fine, clearly, and we're so glad to see everything worked out. But, Elizabeth has gone through so much in her life, and it was so good to see her just on the stage having fun. She had an emotional moment, and I really felt it with her.
My grandma actually passed away very recently. But she was so much fun. She never let a moment pass her by. And so when this opportunity came along, I thought, I live a pretty serious life, and I'm going to take this opportunity and just have fun.
Yeah, and in the first clue package too, when she was talking about just how, she never wanted to be in the spotlight. She was kind of thrust in the spotlight, but now she's, used that for good. And that's so true in her story. She's done a lot of activism for, kidnapping and just for child protection laws and rights. And so I think this was a really big moment for her.
Absolutely. It was so good to see her smiling and happy. I'm proud of her. She did her thing, and she looked beautiful when she took that mask off. So, hey, we love to see it, Elizabeth. But Kyle, now that Elizabeth is out, we have three remaining contestants, and they're heading on to the Super Six. And the three remaining are Cotton Candy, Zebra, and Sloth. How are you feeling about these three?
I'm feeling really good about these three. I feel like this is a strong group. I obviously love the first group as well, but I have to say I'm a little partial to Group B, and it's exciting because, getting all of these new clues, it kind of takes the guessing game to the next level. We don't just have the initial clues, but there's a lot more to go off of. And, I think one thing that The Masked Dancer does well is there's a lot of energy in all these performances. In The Masked Singer, we see a lot of ballads, and there's obviously a lot of talent shown off, but this is a lot easier to just watch and have a good time with.
Absolutely, absolutely. I have to agree with you.
One other thing I want to mention, as I was perusing Twitter, because, I'm here on the West Coast and just trying to follow along with these episodes as they go, and as we're posting them on our YouTube channel, I noticed that we had a lot of new input on The Masked Dancer tonight from Perez Hilton, from Just Jared, from Reality Steve. I mean, all these accounts don't usually post about Masked Dancer, and they all had hashtag ad in them. So I think Masked Dancer is making a little push to try to get, the social conversation to go a little further.
Listen, you can never go wrong with some influencers, right? And they love to make it super obvious with that hashtag ad. Thank you for that, Perez Hilton.
Yeah, you gotta love it.
We're happy they're watching the show with us, kind of, I hope. But anyway.
Yeah, and hopefully they're watching our show too,
Of course they are. Of course they are, Kyle.
Of course.
I think it's time for us to get into our favorite performances of the week. Every week, me and Kyle choose one performance that stood out to us. Kyle, I'll kick it off with you. Who was your favorite performance?
My favorite performance this week came from the Sloth. I thought his performance was epic. I mean, I loved the ribbon dancing and everything that he was getting into. I think he's trying to trick people because, last week we saw him kind of awkwardly stumbling around stage and doing all these like funny dance moves. And, I think this week and parts of last week's performance, he's really proved that he's someone who knows what he's doing up there.
Absolutely. I really think that the sloth is playing with us at this point. And I find it so funny because if you know how a sloth actually moves like in the jungle and such, it does not move like how the sloth does. So it's so funny to see that. I loved his performance and it was just entertaining, like you said. But you know what, Kyle? I'm going to share my favorite performance of the week. My favorite performance was from none other than Cotton Candy dancing to Lady Gaga's Sour Candy. Okay, first of all, song choice. I love, love, love this song. It's a high energy song. If you've never heard it in your life, you still would dance to it. I think that song choice is obviously very important in this competition. And she killed it with the moves.
Yeah, and I think people are starting to get onto her as being either a dancer or a gymnast or a figure skater or someone like that because she clearly knows how to use her body well. And then this performance was also so fun just because it was like a whole group dancing. We see some individual dances, some partner dances, and this one I think she really shined in that bigger group.
Absolutely, and I really feel like that athleticism, I don't know if she's a dancer or performer, she definitely knows how to move, and I feel like that's a huge clue in itself. Kyle, I really want to know who this is. I know you're not unmasking her just yet, but I personally really want to know, just putting it out there.
Yeah, and we will figure out who she is soon. A lot of the guesses online have centered around different gymnasts who have been in the Olympics the past few go-arounds. Tara Lipinski was also a very popular guest, and her kind of counterpart in figure skating, Johnny Weir, was just on Masked Singer, so that isn't out of the question. But a lot of these guesses are kind of revolving in that world.
We'll see. We'll wait for some more clues. But speaking of unmasking and reveals, it is our favorite segment of the week where Kyle exposes one of the remaining characters on The Masked Dancer. Kyle, you know what time it is. Let us know who you are revealing in this week's episode.
All right, this week, because we're going to be going back to Group A next week, we're going to do a reveal from the first group, from the first episode. And so we are going to be revealing the exotic bird.
Exotic Bird is definitely a fan favorite on the show, so I know a lot of people have been waiting to find out who she is. Kyle, who is the Exotic Bird?
All right, the Exotic Bird is, drumroll, Jordin Sparks.
Jordin Sparks. Ooh, I love this. Let us know why it's Jordin.
So Jordin Sparks, you know her, you love her, American Idol winner. To kick off the clues, her height was a big giveaway. The Exotic Bird is someone who's tall, and Jordin Sparks is 5'10". We also saw her on a track at some point, which I think is a nod to the musical track she's been on. A little play on words there. She also talks about starting as a teenager and being really competitive, which is a nod to her run on American Idol. We also saw 17 in the clue package, and Jordin was 17 when she won the show. And we also saw a Best Buy 07 on an egg carton, and 2007 was the year she won Idol. So those clues all point to that. We also saw a glitter gun shoot, and that is a nod to a movie she was in where she played the titular character named Sparkle. We also saw her hold up a little perfume bottle, and Jordin Sparks does have a perfume line called Because of You. She also kind of talked about cooking, which is a reference to, Jordin Sparks has had a cooking show before and does cooking on her YouTube channel. We also saw a lot of sports clues, which made people think that this might be an athlete. But Jordin Sparks is married to an athlete. Her dad was a professional athlete. So those clues make sense as well. Her word up clue was scored.
Scored.
And Jordin Sparks has been a judge on a lot of different shows like Drag Race and Miss America. And then lastly, if you guys watched I Can See Your Voice with Ken Jeong, you saw that she was also a panelist on that show for one episode. And so I think, seeing how we had, Bob Saget on I Can See Your Voice, and Cheryl Hines and Adrienne Bailon, and all these people who are kind of in this masked universe, I don't think it's a surprise that Jordan Sparks was on that show and is now on Masked Dancer.
She just went over to the next set for lunch, right? She just hops over there. I think that's what goes on at Fox. But Kyle,
basically, yeah.
Those were amazing clues. I mean, I should say supporting the clues. I agree with you. I think it's Jordan Sparks. Now that I'm thinking about it, my conspiracy is when people have stuff to promote, they go on the Masked Dancer or Singer. She did have that little bop that she released not too long ago, and she does a little two-step in there. So I guess she's trying to, prove that she's a dancer as well, not just a singer. So, hey, I am here for it. Let us know in the comments, you guys. Do you agree with Kyle? Is it Jordan Sparks? Let us know. I totally agree with it. There's so many American Idol references. Like, how could you not agree with Kyle, right? But if you don't, let us know in the comments why and who you think it is. All right, so I think it's time for us to go into our comment of the week. So every week we choose one of your comments from a previous video and shout you out, love and or hate, because we love you guys. Now, this comment comes from Latoya Rowan, who says, "Boo, I'm unsubscribing. I could have swore I said reveal tulip." Latoya, I think I'm going to let Kyle take over right now.
Yeah, Latoya, we wish we could reveal all these right off the bat, but we really have to make sure, that we know who these people are. But in the meantime, all of our predictions are up at talentrecap.com. So if you want to see, before we reveal it here on the show, who we think these celebrities are, all the clues are laid out there as well. And I promise you, Tulip will be around for a while. And so we will definitely reveal her when the time comes.
I gotta agree with you, Kyle. I don't think Tulip is going anywhere just yet. So, Latoya, don't unsubscribe. We want you to stick around. We want you to see the other reveals as well. So stay tuned with us, all right? Please. But I think it's time for us to wrap it up. Let everybody know where they can find you on socials, Kyle.
Yeah, it's Kmont Pleasure on Instagram and Twitter.
And then you could follow me at _MELBAE. But more importantly, make sure you're following Talent Recap on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube. You are on the platform right now, so click the subscribe button. It's at Talent Recap on all pages. Follow us, you guys, so you can keep in touch with us. But anyways, I think it's time for us to say, and that's our Talent Recap.
Hey, what are you doing tonight? Well, I think you should hit that subscribe button down below, and then we can talk.